Ladies and gentlemen, you know what it is. HipHopMike live from the crib in quarantine, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah about me. I got a special guest here who's going crazy. I mean, internationally known, been on stages that are absurd, including Rolling Loud in New York, where I seen him last. DJ Sidereal is in his bed. What up, man?
Yeah, Sersky. What up, bro?
Chilling, bro. It's a fucking pleasure to finally be able to chop it up with you. It's like, it's been a minute.
Dude, I know we've been talking about it for the longest time, and we was going to do it last time I was in New York, but then everything was just so crazy with Rolling Loud, and then the tour was just so wild, and it never really clicked. So it's kind of crazy that the quarantine made it happen.
Facts, man. Nah, it's a pleasure. I mean, at Rolling Loud, we barely even got to chop it up. I think you guys were walking by. I said, what's up to Keed and to yourself, but then like a crowd of maybe 100 people following you guys swooped everybody away.
Yeah, that's every time, bro. And it's out of control. It's out of control. We're always like, yo, when we leave the stage, like they gonna want to come. Like it is what it is, but like that we can't be having that. And no matter what you do, you just can't avoid it. Like you could have a whole security entourage, they still gonna come.
Well, it's a beautiful problem to have, man. I'm sure it wasn't always like that. Like, I mean,
nah, not at all. What? I remember days where you're like trying to coax your homie to come with you. You know what I mean?
Wild.
But now it's a blessing and a curse at the same time. But I'm not mad at any of it, bro.
All right. Well, I don't know if you've caught a lot of my interviews, but I like to take them back and really give them the full story of like who you are and where this shit started.
Yeah, let's go.
Do you remember a time before you were touching turntables where it was like, you know what, I'm thinking of DJing?
Yeah, bro, it's crazy. Like I feel like my life just kind of just aligned to become a DJ in a weird way, you know, going through having brain surgery at 11 years old, 10, 11 years old, and kind of missing out on a whole year of my life to just during recovery of like relearning how to kind of speak and use a fork again, just really laying on a couch for a year and falling in love with music. Like my whole life I've been around music. My dad and my mom are very musically inclined, and my dad has one of the biggest vinyl collections I could ever imagine. Like, and growing up in Minneapolis.
Or was your dad a DJ at all, or did he just like collect vinyl?
No, my dad was a photographer. He did like landscape photography, and he was like a crazy artist. Like, I'll get back to what I was talking about, but like when I was in school, I sucked at drawing and painting and shit. But my dad was so good at it. So I would hustle my dad into doing all my like middle school art projects, and I would bring it in and turn it in, and they'd be like, yo, you didn't do this shit.
Baby.
Yeah, he got like blended paints and like textures, and like they're like, yo, this kid a prodigy or his father crazy.
Wow.
It was all my father. But yeah, like just recovering and growing up in Minneapolis in general, like being around the music of Prince, Bob Dylan, and just all the real like underground music that Minneapolis has to offer from all genres kind of coaxed me into just always having an ear for it, you know? And during recovery, just falling in love with everything, playing guitar to wanting to play the drums. That obviously failed. And, you know, just falling in love with watching DJs scratch battles over breakbeats. And I can remember watching DJ Abilities, who was the DJ for Idea Abilities, who's from Minneapolis, DJing like a scratch battle. I was like, yo, this dude's got a gold turntable. He's got a vinyl record on this shit. He marketed it with a white crayon. Like, I want to do that shit. Like, yo, that shit is dope. Like, I want to look like a B-boy and DJ. Like, let's go. So my dad ended up getting me this Stanton T62 belt-driven turntable.
Damn.
And, bro, that shit like stole my heart. From the first moment I touched the turntable, it was like, yo, that's it. Like, that's it. Like, this is what I'm gonna do.
Belt drive, you was playing with real vinyl then.
Bro, I was playing with real vinyl, and I only had one turntable at the time. So my dad was like, yo, I'm not about to buy you all this shit if you about to just fold on it. So I had one turntable. So I had an iPod Shuffle. This is for some kids won't even know about this.
They have no idea. Which one do you have? The little one, the stick one?
No, the OG iPod.
Looked like a Jewel.
iPod Shuffle. Huh?
It looked like the Jewel.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. That shit was crazy. Big ass ear pods. So I would actually rip the break beats off a LimeWire, And a lot of the time it was like Soulja Boy records. Like
Uh,
it would be like this crazy breakbeat title, but then I'd download it and be a Soulja Boy record.
Soulja Boy knew what he was doing early.
Yeah, for sure. So his little bait and switch. So I had to like dig to find the breakbeats, but I would play the breakbeat in my ear, and then I was like, oh, yo, Abilities, mark that shit with a white crayon. I got to do the same thing. So I would mark the white crayon on the vinyl, find my cut, and just go in on the decks.
Boom.
Until I was skipping class, like I wasn't hanging out with friends, like I was living, breathing, and eating and sleeping turntablism right out the gate. So that kind of just drove me to get bigger and better. And I remember my first low key gig, the first time I ever DJed in front of people was at my childhood friend's birthday party. I was like, yo, let me just DJ this. And I did it, and I was like, yo, that's it. Like, this energy is it. Like, imagine this on a way bigger scale. And at the time, I didn't imagine how big it was going to get. I was just like, yo, this is so dope, right?
Were you a fan of like DJs at the time? Like, were you paying attention to like, you know, like careers that people, I guess, were having? Because, I mean, I know this is about, what, 10 years ago now?
Yeah, just over 10 years. Yeah, I mean, Mixmaster Mike, DJ Amen, rest his soul. Abilities was still hot at the time. A lot of underground DJs, you know.
It's such an interesting time for DJs too, because it's like the transition between them becoming actual stars in their own right, like was perfectly synced up with you getting into it.
Dude, it was literally the perfect time, because then at that time also you had the transition of DJs who still carried a crate and DJs who went completely digital. Yeah. So it was that amazing transitional period. It was like, yo, you couldn't have gotten into this at a better time. Like, literally, because it gave me the roots of DJing, and it transitioned me into being able to take DJing to another level, which was amazing. So, yeah, so just doing that. And then I had the opportunity to DJ at this is mad embarrassing, DJ at this lesbian bar.
Okay, in Minneapolis?
On a back patio. Yeah, I forget where it was, on this back patio. And Murs was there. Okay. For some reason. And I'm not going to speculate, but he was there. And at the time, he was working with Guerrilla Union on Rock the Bells and Paid Dues, which at the time was like what Rolling Loud is now.
I got my start at Rock the Bells. I think I have a picture with Murs I'm going to find while you're telling me, but that's
it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. So Murs seen me DJ on wax. Like on wax. On a belt
so he knew.
Yeah, and I had to switch a belt out mid-set. So I'm like, he was like, oh, this kid really it. Like, I was mad young too, like 12 or 13, around there, like really youth. And he was like, yo, I got this festival name called Paid Dues. I really want you to DJ at it. Okay. And I didn't even know what the fuck it was. I didn't even know where San Bernardino was, bro. So I go to talk to my dad about it. I'm like, yo, Dad, this guy Murs, like, he's one of my favorite artists right now. He wants me to DJ his festival. Like, he'll take care of my travel and all that stuff. Like, whatever I need, he's going to take care of it. And my dad was, like, so sus about it. He was like, oh, I don't know. Like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, come on, let's go. So he's like, well, I'm not going to that shit, so take your cousin. So Murs flew my cousin and I out to LA to do Paid Dues, and I started DJing in the VIP area. And then the RZA walked in, and the RZA was like, yo, this is crazy. Like, how are you this young doing some G shit? And I ended up DJing the Wu-Tang set at Paid Dues in LA.
Wow.
Like right after Kendrick Lamar, actually. This was when Section 80 just dropped.
Okay, so this is real early.
Yeah, this is mad early.
This had to be like 08, 09, like.
Nah, I mean, maybe it was right after Section 89, because it was like 2012, 2013. So maybe it was sometime after that. But he definitely opened for Wu-Tang. So it was a surreal moment, man. Just at that point, I was like, yo, this could go so much further than just DJing some weirdo shit. Like, there's 50 to 60, maybe even 70,000 people right in front of me. Like, I'm just a kid. Like, at that point, it clicked. Like, yo, just keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. And you might suck at a certain point, but you're not going to suck forever. So that just really clicked, and it kind of, like, gave me that juice. And at that point, like, I started failing school, like, everything. I went back home, and I just dedicated my whole life to DJing. Like, everything. That was it.
Yeah, nah, if you know it's for you, man, you got to run with it. And I mean, clearly it's worked out because you've come a long way from DJing any lesbian bars.
Now I'm not setting foot in that motherfucker for no DJ event.
It's it, unless there's a big act to open up for, you know?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? But
I'm going to open up because Ellen's walking in this bitch tonight.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, then we're in that motherfucker. But
it's crazy. When did you feel like the opportunity came to actually do it as a career? Because, I mean, you go home, you commit to getting nasty. I mean, clearly you had some natural skills to begin with, but like, at what point do you start making some money and actually supporting yourself off of this?
Bro, I didn't make any money at DJing until I was like 17 or 18. So you're talking about 5 to 6 years.
Wow.
I never really
10,000
like
hour rule.
yeah, more than quite 40,000. Yeah, shit. So
maybe
no,
10,000
I
a
didn't
year.
really like. I knew there was money in it, but like, I feel like the good thing about studying some of the underground cats was you didn't see them flexing jewelry or crazy cars and shit like that. So you were just comfortable with kind of just the basic shit to get by. So I didn't necessarily look at it as an opportunity to get rich as fuck. Like, I didn't look at it like that. And I feel like that was the biggest blessing out of the whole thing in the process, because that just allowed me to take advantage of every opportunity possible. Like every opportunity, like, and being a kid, I had no bills to pay. So I'm just doing it to have fun and look cool to the kids at my school and like prove a point to them. You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
plus the accountability that OGs will hold you to as far as your skills are concerned. It's like they're not
for sure.
Can't get away with one mistake.
At that point, I never really looked at it like, oh yeah, I'm about to show them how good I am. Like I was just doing it to have fun, and I knew I could hold my own, and I knew that that my story of the things that I've made it through and my talent would shine, and that would create a doorway for me that would never have existed otherwise. You know what I mean? Like, you damn near have to drill a hole in the wall and cut that motherfucker in to put a door in there, and I was just blessed to get it. You know what I mean?
No, that's okay.
Yeah, I didn't focus on the money forever. And the first show I ever made money on, I think it was like $500 bucks. And it just grew from there, man, like crazy. So, you know, I always tell people, like, bro, no matter what you want to do, you just got to be the best at it. Not even being a musician. Like, if you want to be a barber, like, you got to give up the best fade.
Everything,
like,
You got to.
You just got to be the best, and you can't focus on the money, because the money always gonna be there. The money gonna come no matter what. Like, that just is what it is. People pay for a service. Like, you gonna get paid.
I was talking to Ace Hood yesterday about that, because, you know, so many people think about, like, you know, this thing is like, oh, I'm gonna just get the money and it's a come up. But like, really the true mark of success is to have like a business that continually generates money. You know,
exactly. And you know, the relationships and the friendships that you form over the years are gonna carry you further than a quick little check.
Yup, that's a fact. And a lot of them, if they're built on the quick little check, they're quick little relationships, they come and go. Where it's like, if you're built on somebody actually respecting what you do, it's a lifetime friendship that you could have, and support's like priceless.
And it's a family. Like whatever industry you get into, it's some sort of family. You know what I mean? Because it's just like the world. It's a small world. It's a small niche that you're in. Period. And everybody in there is gonna know each other eventually. So.
Well, my other question for you, and it's funny you say small world, because I think people from Minneapolis, I don't know many, you know, outside of maybe major artists that have done it on a DJ scale.
Yeah.
What is it like being just a DJ from Minneapolis? I mean, not just a DJ, but what is it like being a DJ from Minneapolis? Is there a lot of competition? And I mean, I don't know much about Minneapolis in general outside of like what I've seen on the news the past couple of days, where it doesn't seem like it's super open to hip hop to begin with. What was that like? Like, is that a struggle?
It's not a struggle. It's not a struggle at all. If anything, it's a blessing to come from there. You know, Minneapolis has one of the most deep-rooted hip-hop scenes in the nation. It's so eclectic, from tech, weird hip-hop to boom bap to trap to, you know, it's just spoken word. Minneapolis is really a hub for talent in all aspects. You know, it's the home of Prince, Bob Dylan, and countless other icons.
Major artists. Like, the creativity is crazy.
Yeah, and Lizzo, and, you know, for most recent, Lizzo from Minneapolis and all that. So, it is open to hip hop. You know, that situation that happened to that poor man yesterday can't even reflect on the music opportunity. That was some blatant racist actions and a murder that was committed on a man who was just living his life regardless of any suspected crime or anything that he committed. That was definitely a murder, man. And it's sad that the city has to go through that, especially on a DJ Ski day. You know what I mean? You know, shout out to Ski and Dash Radio. It's sad that had to go that way, and that it even has the opportunity to reflect on the music, because honestly, they have no correlation.
Well, I asked because in New York, you know, hip hop cops, they're shutting
the hip hop cops are serious.
They're doing like, is that a thing out there? Like, are police like, do they enforce like we don't like hip hop events or? Like,
the police are mad open. Like, the police are mad open. I mean, look, bro.
That was just like a weird.
In Minneapolis, they get down. The north side, the south side, they get down. They'll shoot you on the freeway. Like, it gets real out there. If you going in there, you're not checking in with facts, is a problem. So, you know, the hip hop police are not really a thing. They kind of became this like umbrella of clearance for certain hip hop acts to come there. I think years ago, there's this club called Epic Nightclub, and there was a major artist that performed there, and he got shot in the club. Or not the artist, the fan got shot in the club, and the security didn't want him to die in the club because it was gonna create this insurance problem. Yeah. So they dragged the man out of the club and just let him die in the street. Wow. And that created kind of this weird stigma over the city for a few years, where certain hip hop acts couldn't come within the city limits, like, because the north side and the south side don't fuck with each other. It's like the Bloods and the Crips, the Hispanics and the Hmongs. And Minneapolis has the highest Hmong population in the nation, and Somalian population. So they got all their shit in their cultures and everything, and it's a problem because it's the Somalians, the Hmongs, the Bloods, and the Crips. It's like a big square around the city. So it all comes in, right? On 94 and 35. So they're like, yo, we can't do this. Like, we're gonna wash our hands of this, but y'all can do it in the suburbs. So they would bring the major hip hop acts to the suburbs.
Oh, okay.
Which was amazing for the hip hop culture in that city, because it allowed kids because the suburbs of the Twin Cities are generally wealthy. Like, it's really suburban, you know what I mean? It's mostly suburban white kids, but they weren't getting the culture. So when they brought that to the outskirts of the city, it opened a whole nother door of like, yo, we can bring Gucci Mane to Myth and it's going to sell out 8,000 people.
All right.
Crazy.
So it makes sense. It's like everybody has fun and it's some chill vibe. It's not like in New York where everything's just super like.
Nah, for sure. And New York is OD, bro. If you ain't got that card on you, it's OD.
Yeah. Well, that was my question just after seeing yesterday, because it's become this whole conversation, you know, internationally of just like the racism. And I've never heard like really racism coming out of Minneapolis at that extent. And it was just like, maybe it's a police thing, but I mean, it's good to know that at least the culture is sticking together and that there's still opportunities for people to do stuff where it's not like completely the government just being on your ass about, we don't want this here.
Yeah, I mean, look, man, that bullshit exists everywhere. It's not just in my city. That shit is in every city, period, whether it's a general population or a police force. But it just becomes more prominent and noticeable in the police because they're kind of the public eye. They're always under a microscope. You know?
And people don't think about the DJs too, because you think about clubs, you think about the artists and the promoters and all, but you never think of like the DJs are really affected because they're dealing with every club, with every promoter. Yep. And it's like, if one thing happens in one place, it ripples to every place. And you know, with us, with people that play music, it's like, you know, look how just not having clubs open right now has been. Like, for this temporary time, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's so tough. And now it's even blown up even further. Like, we're supposed to be in the UK right now. We were supposed to do Rolling Loud Portugal and do like a whole Europe tour and dates in Japan and then South America. Like, that's all down the drain right now, you know? But the quarantine has been like actually a great thing because it allows you to focus and like maybe even refocus on what you want to create and create more, you know? Because when you're on the road, like, you're creating, but everything's a blur because you wake up, You get on the bus, you might have press to do, then you got to go to sound check, then you got to find some time in between sound check and your show to like take care of your body, eat, and you might have more press to do after that, and then you just keep repeating that cycle with the studio after all of that. So you just kind of in there like numb and dead, just recording records, and you might be able to record some hits. Like I've seen it done every single day, but it's just draining when you can't wake up and focus on it all day. You know what I mean?
Give it your whole energy for real.
Yeah, and like the financial portion of the quarantine sucks, bro. But man, look, man, if that's the worst thing I got to deal with right now, I ain't tripping.
Well, I think you're unique also just as a DJ, because a lot of the people that I've come up around, like their bread and butter is the clubs. And I've always kind of prided myself on being like part of this, I guess, newer generation where, you know, we do the Rolling Louds, you go to festivals, you kind of go to the South Bys and Coachellas and, you know, stuff like that. It happens for a few days and then you go back to creating and moving around and doing the press if you're fortunate. But like, you're not completely reliant on like, is this club going to be open and am I going to be the person who's booked at it? You know, to connect with an artist and be able to travel. Like I talk to Quiz all the time about it. Like if I could be in a situation, shout out Quiz is the realist. And like Quiz is a dude who had the opportunity to either choose being in one place, doing radio and having a time slot, or actually traveling and being able to do things internationally. And every time, if I had the opportunity, I would go internationally just because I think there's so much more on the creative side that you could do. And it's not just limited to these records and this time.
Yeah, for sure. And I never really stayed in the club. Like, I never really wanted to DJ a club. I think while I was living in Minneapolis DJing, I DJed at Aqua nightclub like 3 times over the course of like years. Like, I never really liked the club, bro. That was never my thing because the club is so robotic and so mannequin vibe. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's in there just drinking, having a good time, trying to pick up vibes, like, and get on. You know what I mean? My whole thing was concerts, festivals. Once I seen that mosh pit for the first time, bro,
that was it.
Oh, it was over with. Like, man, fuck the club, bro. I'm about to go do some crazy shit.
I feel
you know,
that.
like even Keed now to this day, I think he did hella after parties, and they always trying to convince me to either go to the after party or DJ the after party. And I think I did one in Vancouver. I think I did one. That was it, because I was like, yo, this shit lit. Yeah, come on with it.
It's got to be the right situation, though. Nah, I feel you. I'm the same way, man.
Yeah, man, it's just not the right vibe, bro.
How did you and Keed link up? Like, how was that first interaction? Is he the first guy that you got to travel with like that, like on a tour?
Man, so Keed and I tapped in a crazy way. So we have a mutual friend, Ryan, and he was like, yo, go tap in with this artist that we just put on named Lil Keed. And I'm like, to be honest with you, I was like, I don't know one Lil Keed song. Like,
all right.
Who Lil Keed?
This is pretty early.
Yeah, early. So I go over there. I tap in with his manager, Charlie. And he's like, yo, you want to go meet Keed? I'm like, yeah, come on with it. Because I live like 5 minutes from the studio. So I'm like, if I don't fuck with dude, I'm just going to skate out. So because I'm the type of dude that's like, you going to see me when you see me. Like, I ain't going to stick around and be no fan. Like,
nah, I got you.
So I'm like, yeah, come on. So I walk up to him, and Keed come up smiling. Like, you could tell his aura and his vibe was so pure and, like,
he's
cool.
Special. Compared to a lot of artists, he's special.
Yeah, so then at that moment I was like, oh, yeah. And then my smile came out, and it looked like I was going to kill somebody. Like, I was mad chill at that point. And then the first thing Keed ever said to me, he dapped me up, and he's like, you going to be my DJ. The first thing he ever said to me. Yeah, off rip. And I'm like, all right. So then I'm like, all right, bet, yeah, come on. Because, like, DJing, like, being on the road with the RZA and doing dates with G-Eazy before Quiz, doing dates with Ludacris, like, all this stuff from so young, like, countless people, really. I was like, all right, I don't know how this goes. Like, he just going to be like, yeah, come on with it, and then I'm not going to hear from you. So I sit in the studio for a while, and I don't even think they were recording nothing special at the time. But it was in Thug's studio in Burbank. Okay. And I'm like, all right, cool, let's leave. So I call Ron, I'm like, yo, he mad cool, bro. He's like, yeah, I want you to be my DJ. He's like, that's crazy. Well, there you go. So I didn't hear from him for like a month. Okay. I didn't hear from him. And then he called me one day. He had this tour coming up. He called me one day. He like yo, you come to the show? I'm like, bro, it's in 2 hours.
He doesn't even know where you've been this whole month. Like,
Yeah,
if
like,
he's back in
bro,
Minneapolis.
it's 2 hours. Like, come on, man. So, and at the time I live in LA. So I'm like, yeah, where is it? He's like, it's a House of Blues, Orange County. So if I live in Burbank, so that's like an hour and 30-minute drive in traffic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I get there. I get there, and there's 2 green rooms, right? There's the Keed green room and then the headline artist green room. I go into Keed's green room, put drip on and just kick it, and no one's in there. I notice no one's coming in. Like, they peek in the door, but then they just leave it. So like, what's going on? Like, what we doing? So I'm like, all right, it hit me like, all right, they're gonna feel me out. So I go do the show, and I walk out there, and then my girl's standing on the side of the stage watching. And then as I'm walking out, Young Thug comes out of the green room and walks out and stands right next to my girl with Kevin Lyles. And I just remember like climbing the balcony, jumping off the balcony, having this shit going fucking crazy. And I get off the stage after doing my set and Keed's set, and Thug and Kevin watching the whole thing. And I go back to the green room and nobody in there still. And then Keed come in. He like, yo, come on, come meet Slime. I'm like, why? And he's like, man, well, shut the fuck up, bro. Come on, man. So now I walk in there, and like, we've been straight ever since. Like, we've just been running, and it's been flawless every night. It just clicks. Like, his energy and my energy click. And that's the most beautiful part about it. Like, this shit just works. Like, we both want to go crazy. We want to create an epic experience, and we want to make something that is memorable and enjoyable. You know what I mean? Not just another set.
Yeah, nah, and it's felt, man, like over the times I've seen, you know, Keed perform or yourself even doing sets, like the relationship, I think, is everything. And a lot of people have a hard time getting in that pocket with their DJ because, you know, especially artists that are coming up these days, they're so focused on like, you know, the aesthetic of it, but they don't think that the thing is something as simple as like the sound and organizing the sets, you know, how much that really does for the overall experience. And knowing you're a music dude and Keed's a music dude, I'm sure y'all get on the same page and go crazy.
Yeah, that's crucial. But like, Keed wasn't doing that at first. Like, his other DJ was just like playing the music, hitting the
Well, that's most of the time.
He would go like this. And I peeped that the first night, and I'm like, Keed, that's not how we gonna do it, bro. And he's like, what are you talking about? You gonna tell me how to do my set? I'm like, yeah. I'm gonna tell you that's my job, motherfucker. Like, I'm gonna make that most epic intro music. After I do a 10-minute set, you gonna have a predetermined, like, we gonna know what song we playing next. I'm gonna know exactly where I gotta cut this, drop it out for the crowd. Like, I'm gonna know everything like the back of my hand, so that there's no flaws on my end or your end. You know where all your words are. You don't be like,
yeah, you get to business.
And we get to business. And at that point, you keep the energy. You can focus on where your arms are going, where your hands are going, what the visuals are doing, like what's going. You make an experience. And he like, all right, we gonna see. So I make my boy Tom, who's an incredible engineer, incredible producer. He does like movie scores, commercial scores, everything. He really the GOAT, bro. Thomas Nielsen, he really the GOAT. You need to do an interview with him because he really the GOAT.
Set it up.
He made this. I got you.
I'm with it.
He made this intro score for Keed, and it was like the most epic thing. And we used it for a whole tour. And these kids, like, yo, the anticipation that it made these kids feel was insane. And when it dropped, the lights would cut out, and then it would go bright, and then Keed would come running out, and it would just be just this massive thing. Because you see the experience in front of you, you're like, oh, yeah, they're about to feel it. And then it hits you that they're feeling it, and then you feel it too. So it's just like, oh, we about to go crazy. Come on.
See, yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, and it just creates this moment for Keed because he was just coming out at the time and doing – like, he would just come jogging out and no experience behind it, and these kids would rock out with him, but it didn't create this super stardom effect. You know, it didn't create this elevation of, wow, we're really witnessing a superstar right now. And that score, we made another one, and we passed the first one on to Thug. So now the first one is what Thug seen the score happen, and Cash was like, DJ Cash was like, yo, we need one of those. I'm like, hey, take this one. And he came out to it for the first time at Rolling Loud in the Bay Area, and it was incredible, bro. Like, incredible. He was like, yeah, we need that every time. So it's cool because not only has my DJ like talent and just the ability to create a moment directly reflected into YSL, it influenced them and how they do their performances and set layouts and stuff like that. But it is also, I think, helps the DJ culture because a lot of the DJs don't realize like that's what you should be doing. Mm-hmm. Like if they don't look like a superstar, you don't look like a superstar. And if they don't look like a superstar, you look like a fucking idiot because that's your job.
Your job, straight up.
Yeah. So it's awesome that even just something so blatantly obvious wasn't that obvious, and now it's just kind of brought out, you know?
Well, it's your perspective also because, again, I mean, you're a dude that has an appreciation for the actual overall craft. Like, it's not just about you branding yourself and tying yourself to this artist or this situation or being in this room. It's not about anything other than like, nah, I want people to feel the shit because it comes back around and then I feel the shit, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And my love for EDM music has directly reflected into that because, you know, watching EDM expand, it's like, all right, hold on. I put this math together. I was like, okay, so 2 + 2 = 4. The 2 in this equation is, wait, these EDM cats, these ravers are sitting here in a massive fucking crowd, tripping balls, having a great time, watching this DJ play music, but there's no artist. How is that possible? And I dissected it. I'm like, yo, it's because the fucking DJ makes an experience. The lights, the visuals, the fire, the geysers, the lasers, like all of that creates a superstardom. Like
it's just insane, yeah.
And the hip hop community didn't have that at the time. Like they were just getting into LED stuff and figuring out how to utilize what they're doing. And it just clicked to me as like, yo, that's a direct reflection. Like you could easily bleed the EDM community into the hip hop community and vice versa. It's an easy sell. And that's at that moment is when I'm like, yo, I'm gonna start playing EDM music at the rap show.
All right.
And everybody was like, nah, B, like, nah, you bugging, bro. And I was like, nah, watch. So I would play like Crazy Smoke Perp or like Extension, like early grunge shit that wasn't so much accepted at the time. And I was playing it. They might not have known it right away, but I was playing it. I was just rocking out so undeniably with no shame in my body that they were rocking with me right out the gate. Like mosh pits, crowd surfers, people climbing the balcony, jumping off the balcony. And then I would mix in an EDM song. And they would do the same fucking thing because it was so seamless and so shamelessly done that they would just rock with it. They're like, oh shit, let's go. Like we rock it. And then you bring it right back into hip hop. And I do the same thing at the rave. Like I'll play a tech house record and then I'll mix in a hip hop record into the tech house and then bring it into future bass and then bring it into the biggest trap record and then bring it into some dubstep and then some UK dub and then right back. Like there's really no guidelines. You know what I mean? There's no guideline. You just got to do it with, I'm getting amps thinking about it. I'm like, yo, I just want to do this.
Nah, I gotta say, bro, I appreciate all the shit you do, man. Like your ass goes crazy and you're a special dude, for real.
Nah, we just getting started though, like for real. Like this last 2 years has been so like eye-opening and life-changing for me in a lot of ways, but just more so in the aspect of being a DJ because, you know, now in my current DJ career, I might not be the best scratch DJ. I might not be, you know, the best turntablist, but it's transcribed and transpired into really connecting with people on a feeling level. And that's something that I'm really proud of because that's really what music is about, right? You want to be able to touch the people and make them feel something that they don't normally feel. And someone like myself, who's certainly not a superstar right now, being able to touch the people so deeply emotionally is like the biggest accomplishment and the most fulfilling thing that I could ever imagine. Creating an experience is something that I want to do every day of my life. Like, I want to experience something new. They want to experience something new. And if we can do it together, let's fucking go.
Well said. I mean, shit, I can't put it much better than that, man. I appreciate your time today. Like, You're fucking dope, bro.
Dude, stop it, man. Mike, we gotta tap in when I'm in New York, bro.
Yo, anytime. I mean, I'm gonna DM you my math, and I gotta make sure I follow your shit back. I thought I was following you, but I got fucking a ban on. I'm banned on Instagram right now. Nah, look, I that ass. No cap. Look, anytime I try and do some shit, it says I'm banned till the 28th. I can't even comment or like my own pictures like without getting this shit. But I'm if you want, take down my math or I could try and DM it. Let me see if it'll let me send a DM.
I got your number.
Okay, so shoot me a text and let's definitely chop up, bro. I would love to fucking link up, bro. For real. And we
heard me. I said you don't got mine. You don't got mine. It's all good.
I mean, I should. Hold on.